What's up, YouTube? It's Vincent here. I got a really good album to talk about today. Wait 1 second. I hate when people put clothes on chairs. Anyway, got a good album to talk about. It was another requested album. But before I get into it, I just want to say that today is a day of mourning. Because the bassist of Queen fame, and he worked with a number of other musicians, the titan of bass playing, in my opinion, Jack Bruce, passed away. Incredibly saddening. Couldn't believe it when I heard it today. Queen were really a band that changed not only the way I think about music, but I think I can say they changed my life, because music is so important to me, and any change, fundamental change to that thing in me, you know what I mean? It impacts me a lot when it comes to that sort of thing. Like, if an artist influences the way I think about music, and music is such a big part of my life that it therefore kind of non-directly influences my life in a big way. So Queen definitely did that, one of my favorite bands, and that is very unexpected, extremely unexpected. It's kind of like when Jeff Hanneman died. No one really expected that to happen, and this is really shocking news, and it sucks. But, death is inevitable, and it happens. So, really no point in dwelling on it, and just remember him for the incredible musician that he was. But I really still can't believe it. It's really, I don't think it's like sunk in yet. It's really crazy. But it happens, and, we're going to lose a bunch more, unfortunately, because that's just the cycle of life. So, that's kind of a pretty interesting theme to end that little section of the video off, because we are going to be talking about some unadulterated doom metal today, folks. We're going to be talking about Doomicus Epicus Metallicus by Candlemass, released in 1986. Now, Candlemass are a traditional doom metal band, which pretty much just means the doom metal that was coming out in the 80s, in the vein of Black Sabbath and Pentagram and that sort of thing. The genre that was slowly forming in the 70s and really came to a head in the 80s with, the more traditional bands that we know now, like Trouble, St. Vitus, I love St. Vitus, a number of other bands. Cathedral, even though they were more in the 90s, and they were more like death doom, but that's when it kind of started to diverge into other genres and stuff. But in the 80s, when it was just pure, slow, heavy, fuzzy, doomy metal, Candlemass were one of the forefronters of that whole, I don't want to call it a movement, because it's not really a movement. It was just a formation of another style that really is derived off of Black Sabbath. Although, I gotta be honest, I fucking hate when people compare any slow band with, sorry, I got a text. I'm gonna have to do that sometimes. Sorry. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so yeah, Candlemass, they're from Sweden, which is interesting because most of the doom metal bands that are really influential for the genre are either from Britain or America. St. Vitus are from America, and so forth. But these guys are from Sweden, and this record is awesome. So, a couple of things. A, the sound of the record is more doom, epic, like epic doom metal, which I mean, the whole genre thing doesn't really matter, but in this case, the album title is definitely literal. If you take a song like the intro, or better yet, third song on the record, Demon's Gate, starts off with this really, really eerie voice talking about, holding his cross and entering this gate with demons. Very, very fantasy-esque, teeny bit cheesy, but in the fun kind of way, you know what I mean? Like, you can take them just seriously enough, but not too seriously, and it's fun to listen to. And then build up, and build up, and build up, until finally just this huge, fat, massive riff just descends and just explodes into this groove. And that is a pretty good way to describe the songwriting on this record. There's a lot of subtlety, there's a lot of heaviness, but there's also a lot of soft, subtle moments. Like on the opening track, Solitude, there's a lot of acoustic work, but it's just enough to add that sprinkle of emotion into the song, but it never outweighs the heaviness, and it never drags the songs down. It's just like mostly heavy, and then like 80% riffing and like 20% acoustic, and it adds just a nice little tweak to the really epic doomy sound that they have. The vocals, I gotta be honest, I'm actually not very familiar with the names of the people who played on this record. If I had time to think about it, I could remember them, but right offhand, I actually don't know any of the band members' names, so I apologize for that. I feel kind of stupid for that. But, I listen to the music, so. The vocalist, from at this album, they changed to a guy named Messiah, on their next few albums. But on this record, I don't know his name, but he's awesome. He has a very operatic voice, which very, very rarely can kind of cross over into the cheesy, but it's only every once in a while, and maybe it's just because I'm personally kind of picky about like operatic kind of vocals. I love Bruce Dickinson, and people like that, but other times it comes off as kind of cheesy. But the vocals on this record are very, very good. Do not get me wrong; they're very powerful. He hits a lot of notes that are impressive, and he definitely conveys the emotions of the songs. So I don't have any complaints. I think they're awesome. The riffing on the record is absolutely fantastic. The thing I like about this record is that it's not, it's slow, but it's not like really slow. It's kind of a slow to mid-paced kind of record, which in my opinion is cool because it gives the songs a kick, but not enough to take it away from its roots in really slow, somber doom. And that's what I love about the record. It's exciting, but it's not exciting to the point where it takes away from the doomy, slow element, if you see what I'm saying. And it's still a somber, moody record. But these riffs are just a bit more bouncy, and so it gives them a bit more energy, which kind of it helps the songs stay interesting and move and flow, while retaining that slow doomy element, if you know what I'm saying. I know that's very vague, but I really like that about it. The production on the record is phenomenal. I love it. Everything is balanced very well. The bass is one of those things where you feel it more than you hear it, meaning like you can feel the impact and the low tones, but you don't really hear individual strings or anything like that. But it's a very warm, nice bass production. I like it. The drums sound great. They do have that 80s like kind of like echo thing, but I think that's pretty charming. The cymbals sound really nice. The snare is really snappy, and it gives it the grooves a very tight feel, almost like if you ever listen to Pantera, which I know like 99.9 of you have. I love Pantera. Who doesn't like Pantera? Well, a lot of people, but that's topic for another day. Vinnie Paul, the drummer, how his drum kit sounds very tight and snappy and poppy and like doom, pa, doom, pa. This album kind of has that like really, really like thick but snappy, poppy, like crackling kind of drum tone with very, very clear cymbals, and it really, in my opinion, puts a nice crunchy emphasis on the guitars, which of course have a great tone. I love the tone. The tone has like a sheen to it on this record, the guitar tone, but there is a lot of fuzzy, thick low end with enough treble to make them almost sharp sounding. And the whole record just sounds huge. And, of course, the vocals are reverb to all hell, and it just makes them, all his high notes just ring out into these big echoes, and it's a very epic sounding record that talks about crystal balls and evil gates and all this crazy shit and wanting to kill yourself, and just classic doom topics that we all, love. And it's great. The flow of the record is fantastic. The album just seems to get more epic as it goes on. It it starts with like a 5-minute song, and then it goes into an 8-minute song, and it just gets longer and longer until at the end the song is almost reaching 10 minutes. Great acoustic work on the last few songs. Really just an epic album. And it's I gotta say, reviewing it is actually getting me even more excited to listen to it again, because I'm fairly new to it. Like, I've listened to it enough times to review it and talk about it, but it's like, I feel like I'm still discovering it, you know what I mean? So it's like getting me pumped to listen to it again. I'm probably gonna, after I finish the review. And Candlemass is a band I'm gonna delve into a lot. I've already listened to St. Vitus's discography, and I'm trying to listen to more traditional Doom. I love St. Vitus. I'm definitely gonna get to them. And I've actually been planning a Cream discography for a while, and there's no better time to do that now than with the... I wish we had a better reason to celebrate, but the unfortunate passing of Jack Bruce. So, yeah, Epicus Doomicus Metallicus, or is it Doomicus Epicus Metallicus? I actually don't know. It doesn't matter. Candlemass's debut, fantastic Doom record. Took a while to grow on me, but it finally has, and I really, really, really enjoy it. Highly recommended to any Doom fan, but if you're a Doom fan, the chances are you've probably already heard it. So, yeah, Candlemass, awesome record, released in 1986. Born Too Late was released that year, too. So another Doom hallmark, you could say. And, yeah, I want to thank you guys again for giving me a lot of requests to do. That's really, really cool. A lot of you have asked me to do Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness by Smashing Pumpkins, and I'll get to that. There's certain albums that you guys have, requested that I'm very familiar with, but I feel like I'm almost not as familiar with them anymore because I haven't listened to them in a really long time, and I don't really want to do a review unless I'm like kind of comfortable with talking about a huge double album, you know what I mean? Because I want to like do a good review of it because it's a good album, it deserves it. So give me some time to listen to that one, and I'll definitely do a review of it because I do like it. Of course, it's one of the early Pumpkin classics. Although, in my opinion, the band's prime, personally, I'd say it was Gish, followed incredibly closely, like pretty much they're just tied. Siamese Dream, amazing album. And then Melancholy I'd consider just a slight bit weaker, but that's for when I review that. And I'm rambling, as I tend to do. Keep sending in requests. Thanks for all the ones you guys have given me already, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks. Check Candlemass out. Probably already have, if you're a Doom Metal fan.